Now shifting focus to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The African nation could be witnessing a rare moment of peace as M23 rebel forces said they are withdrawing from the eastern DR Congo city of Uvira. The paramilitary group said that its men have started moving away from its main base in the town. The movement was reportedly confirmed by the local residents as well. In a post on social media, M23's political leader said the withdrawal would be completed by Thursday. He also urged the civilians to remain calm and urged mediators to make sure Uvira is safe from violence and retaliation after the group's withdrawal. The M23 rebels say the withdrawal is in good faith and in accordance with the Doha ceasefire process aimed at building peace in the region. Earlier, the group said that its withdrawal was conditional and sought a neutral force to take over Uvira. The Rwanda-backed group captured the strategic border city last week. Uvira sits in South Kivu province, right on the border with Burundi. Uvira's capture allowed M23 to control a key border crossing. It also cut DR Congo off from military support coming from Burundi. All of this happened just days after DR Congo and Rwanda signed a peace deal in Washington, an agreement President Donald Trump labelled as a great miracle. But soon after Uvira's capture, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Rwanda had clearly violated the deal and warned of action. But DR Congo's government isn't buying the withdrawal announcement, calling it just a distraction. A Congolese government spokesperson said the move was meant to shield Rwanda from potential US action. While diplomats and leaders argue over peace, the humanitarian fallout is escalating. The United Nations say at least 64,000 people have already fled into neighbouring Burundi. Officials say most of them are women and children, and that number is only expected to rise.
We began receiving refugees from the DRC last Friday, December 5th. Since then, we have already exceeded 40,000 people in just 1 week. This is simply because there has been very serious fighting on the Congolese side. It started in Kamanyola, and we saw many people fleeing to cross the border and seek safety in Burundi. They came from Sange, Katagota, and all these places.
Meanwhile, the government of Burundi says more than 76,000 Congolese refugees have been registered so far, and nearly 13,000 have been relocated from overcrowded camps operating far beyond capacity.
Muzenyi refugee site, along with other transit centers and former camps, is operating beyond capacity, both structurally and logistically. These strain service quality and poses safety risks for residents and surrounding communities.
And in response, Burundi has launched an emergency humanitarian plan to accommodate more refugees.
The emergency plan launched today responds to the influx of Congolese refugees into Burundi and supports the government's efforts to protect and assist over 110,000 already in the country, as well as about 100,000 new arrivals expected since the influx began on December 6, 2025.
And on the ground, the conditions are desperate. Reports suggest there is a shortage of shelter and food. Those fleeing the violence say they are surviving with the bare minimum.
The conditions here are very difficult. We have no sanitary facilities. We have no food or firewood. We also have no water, so it is impossible to wash. We spend the night under the stars, sleeping on the ground. For example, yesterday we slept in the rain. For now, we still haven't eaten. We are hungry. I tried to get by, begging here and there. I was lucky enough to meet a man who gave me a packet of cassava leaves. I peeled and pounded them with the mortar he lent me.
Behind this crisis is a long-running conflict that refuses to end. That includes M23's offensives this year that captured major DRC cities like Goma and Bukavu. Hundreds have been killed, and thousands have been displaced this year alone as part of the ongoing conflict. And despite peace talks in Washington and Doha, both sides continue to accuse each other of violating the ceasefire. So as rebel troops retreat and refugees cross borders, one question echoes loud. Is this de-escalation a genuine step towards peace, or is it just the calm before another storm? We'll keep tracking the developments for you here on Firstpost Africa.
I was born into privilege, but I sold myself as the voice of the poor. I led a revolution in the mountains, and marched into Havana as a hero. I promised freedom, equality, dignity. What I built was a one-party state. I survived invasions, embargoes, and enemies, but my people survived shortages in silence. Some called me El Comandante. History calls me something else. A dictator. Who am I?